and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, JayPops. And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host, JayPops. Guys, today's date is November 4th, 2020, the day after National Election Day. Just took place on yesterday. So we should be seeing who's going to be president for the next 4 years or so. But we're not going to get into that because this is not politics that we're talking about. I'm just letting you guys know it is the day after National Election Day, okay? Once again, it is a beautiful day in the great city of Houston, Texas, people. Yes, in the great city of Houston, Texas. It is very, very beautiful out here. Later on tonight, I will have on a jacket, though. Why? Because that's just how things go in this great city of Houston, Texas. So, once again, the show is sponsored by Dopeness Styles and also King's Beard Grooming Company. We're going to go ahead and jump on into it. Excuse me. I don't have any breaking news, any sort about A&M at the moment. So we don't have to get into none of that because, like I said, I don't have any breaking news to talk about. However, this is a jam-packed episode in which we will not be long. I won't be long, but I will be breaking down some statistical rankings of that Texas A&M offense against that South Carolina defense. Also, once again, my score prediction for Texas A&M at South Carolina, 41-10. Although we're on the road, this is going to be a statement win of how good you can perform on the road at South Carolina. We've already done it before where we went to South Carolina and we beat those guys like 52-21, I believe. And that was in those Steve Spurrier days, okay? Not saying that that's going to happen again because this is a new head coach, new offense, things like that. But I'm just saying this Texas A&M team is rolling at the moment. And before I get off into those statistical rankings, guys, is A&M one of the most disrespected teams? Is A&M one of the most hated teams? I don't know, but the reason why I'm saying this is because I was listening to my Cover 3 247 podcast on yesterday, and that's one of my favorite podcasts. If you guys haven't heard that podcast before, please go and check it out. Okay, but anywho, Barton Simmons, and man, that is one of my favorite podcast hosts. He's one of the very first guys, but him and Chip Patterson both. They're one of my first guys who I ever checked out to do a podcast about 2 years ago. To be honest with you, and ever since then I've been hooked on podcasts. Period. But anywho, Barton Simmons in particular. And that guy, man, I like him a lot. I love when Barton Simmons talks because Barton Simmons also does the recruiting for 247, if you guys not know. And Barton Simmons is always dead on accurate with whatever he does. But anywho, man, Barton, my man. Why? But he was another guy that was high on A&M too. And I believe after the Vanderbilt game, showing, and after the Alabama loss and things like that, he kind of lost confidence in A&M. But this is what Barton Simmons said yesterday when I listened to him. A&M is not really that good. And I'm going to stop right there. He said, man, who are we believing in? A&M? Because Texas A&M is not very good. And I just stopped right there. I was like, Barton, what haven't you been watching that we haven't been watching, man? Texas A&M is a good football team at the moment. They took that loss to Alabama, and it was what it was, Barton, but we moved along, and Texas A&M keeps on improving game after game. What is it that you're not seeing? And for one thing, Barton is the one that done the talent composite rankings and things like that. And I just don't know what Barton isn't seeing that everybody else is seeing. Like, Barton, come on, man. But not only Barton, it's a few more other guys that have said A&M isn't a very good football team. I mean, A&M is ranked 7 at the moment. They look damn good against Arkansas. But I get it, because it's Arkansas and because it's a COVID year, and this is everybody's excuse for why A&M is looking like the team they're looking like right now. Well, the SEC ain't good. SEC is weak. Another excuse is it's COVID-19. A lot of players opted out, things like that. Another excuse is, well, look at the opponents that they're playing. They aren't playing anybody like that. Like, golly, like, come on, man. But Texas is getting praise. I mean, because they beat Oklahoma State, and for whatever reason, everybody believes in Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma State just got beat by Texas. That was unranked. Well, Texas wasn't supposed to win that game. Well, goddamn, man, they did. I mean, Oklahoma State lost, but because Oklahoma State lost, I guess closely to Texas, which was unranked, once again, everybody still believes Oklahoma State is a good football team. Like, come on, man, you guys are killing me. You guys are killing me with that. Penn State 0-2 right now. For whatever reason, people still believe in Penn State. What the hell are y'all looking at? They just lost to Ohio State 38-25. That loss wasn't as bad as it looked. Oh my goodness, come on, man. Penn State lost to Indiana. Well, Penn State was the better team at the end of the day. The thing is this. People don't want to believe what's right in front of their faces because they want to believe everything that they predicted is right, okay? When it comes to Texas A&M football and they're doing as good as they're doing right now, and we still have other games to play, well, those wins aren't real wins. You know, we just don't know if that's true right now. What the hell, man? Well, Penn State is 0-2, but for whatever reason, people still feel like Penn State is the second best football team over there in the Big Ten, in the Big Ten East. They're 0-2, unranked, everything. I just don't see how Penn State is still the better football team at the end of the day. But anywho, I'm just saying, man, when it comes down to Texas A&M and those guys, when it comes to them steady moving up in the rankings and things like that, people just don't like to see that. I mean, people want to see it because it's new blood, but people doesn't want to see that. And every time they keep moving up, it's an excuse to why they keep moving up. It's an excuse. It's going to continue to be an excuse. And that's just how it is. Hell, we can come back next year and go undefeated, and I bet your ass that they'll have many excuses to say, well, this is why Texas A&M went undefeated. Well, have you seen Alabama? Okay, well, most of their kids didn't play. Oh, well, it was a injury. Well, have you seen LSU? Well, LSU, most of their guys are young. They're still learning. Well, God damn. But when we lose, everybody's on our ass. Everybody is on our ass to why we lost. Well, I told you Texas A&M wasn't a good football team. Like, oh, my goodness, man. Come on. Stop it already. Stop. Anyways, I just want you guys to think about that. Like, is Texas A&M one of the most hated football teams? Because I just don't understand it. In my mind, in my opinion, I believe they are one of the most hated football teams for whatever reason. Hell, they hate us like we're the ones that's been winning national titles. We haven't been winning no damn national titles. Hell, we haven't even been having 10-win seasons. They hate us like we're the fan base that talk a lot of shit. We don't never say nothing to anybody. But what we are doing is just steadily moving along. We're just quietly moving, going on about our business. Putting in the work, going on about our business. Putting in the work in recruiting, going on about our business. But, I mean, hey, man, it is what it is. We're not looking at the ones that don't believe in this. It's odd to me that people just do Texas A&M like the way they do. Like they don't want to see them get better, like type of deal. But anyways, man, let's go ahead and move into these statistical rankings. And in this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast Sports, I'll be breaking down the Texas A&M offense against that South Carolina defense. So as of right now, the total offense for Texas A&M is 37. Total defense for South Carolina is 57. Okay, that's 20 spots above that South Carolina defense at the moment. All right, let's break all of this down. First down, A&M is 44. South Carolina first down defense is 59. Okay, third down offense, A&M is number 1 in the country. My goodness, that is a huge jump to where we used to be a couple of years ago. Hell, that's a huge jump from where we used to be on it last year. But anyways, I know people have an excuse to why A&M first down offense is so good. It's a COVID-19 year. It is what it is. Let's keep moving along. Third down defense, South Carolina is number 39. That should give you a reason to why I predict this game to be pretty much a blowout. I understand South Carolina is coming off a bye week. That's usually when guys, kind of get things figured out, things like that. But I don't have any belief in Will Muschamp. I'm sorry. That guy should have been gone a couple of years ago. I just don't have any belief in him. I don't. That's just me. Fourth down offense, A&M is 95th in the country. Fourth down defense, South Carolina is number 7. All right. We don't put ourselves in too many fourth down situations, so I don't expect us to put ourselves in fourth down situations in the South Carolina game. All right. Passing offense, A&M is 37 with 252 yards per game. Passing yards per completion, A&M is 52nd with 12.3 yards. Passing efficiency, A&M is number 26. That right there by far is a huge jump into what I'm telling you about. We have made drastic improvements that people have yet to give A&M any recognition about, okay? That's a huge jump to where we used to be last year, the year before, and things like that. Passes intercepted, A&M is 39 with 5. That's how many interceptions that those guys have given up. Passing defense, South Carolina is 65th with 247 yards per game. I can tell you like this. Kellen Mond, throw the ball. Understand South Carolina has J.C. Horn on the other side of that on the other side of that field on defense. I understand that he's a first-round corner or predicted to be a first-round corner. But we're not scared of him. For what? For what? Hell, you want to go up against elite competition in this game, that's just what Kellerman is going to have to do. So that wide receiver core, ball out. Passing efficiency, South Carolina is 62nd. That's the passing defense efficiency. South Carolina is 62nd. Passes intercepted, South Carolina is number 22. Okay, so we understand what South Carolina will be bringing to this game. I mean, that's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They will be bringing a turnover defense, not a turnover defense that's better than Arkansas ball means, but they should be bringing a pretty good turnover interception defense. Rushing offense, A&M is 43rd. Rushing defense, South Carolina is 54th with 153 yards per game. Isaiah Spiller, Anaya Smith, those guys should run for a field day. Those guys should have a field day out there running the ball on that South Carolina defense, okay? This game here by far should be one of the more balanced games, just like we seen in the Arkansas game. But this should be even better. I'm not saying that they're going to score on every drive, but this should be a well-balanced game to where A&M looks like they're more comfortable in getting better and better on the offensive side of the ball to where it looks like a real balanced ball club. Because as of right now, I can tell you this, A&M has found an identity, okay? They're getting more balanced as the games and the season goes on. They're getting more and more and more balanced as the season goes on. But they have an identity, and that's running the football. And how the way they're running the football right now, they're using multiple running backs to run the football. You know what I mean? So I look at it like this. Isaiah Spiller should have a big day. Anaya Smith should have a big day. Kellen Mond should have a big day with zone reads. And Devin Inche should have a good day if, you know, they choose to use him. Lately, we've been using him. So credits to Jimbo Fisher for getting that guy involved in the run game. And in this game alone, all four guys should have a huge day running the football. If South Carolina stops that run offense, Kellen Mond should have a big day passing the ball. It's no way that South Carolina should stop these guys from doing what they're doing, man, because like I say, it's balanced. So if you stop one thing, we can do another, you know? So I'm just saying that's not cockiness by all means, but it's just simple facts at the end of the day. Understand we're on the road and we're in their home stadium, but once again, I do not believe in Will Muschamp, people. I don't. I just don't. I feels like Jimbo Fisher is the better coach. Now, if he gets out coached, then that's a different story. But I just feel like Jimbo Fisher is the better coach at the end of the day. Tackles for loss given, A&M is 12. Tackles for loss on defense, South Carolina is 87. So that should speak volume to what I just told you about. All right, that's why I'm speaking facts. Okay. Sacks allowed, A&M is number 2 in the country. That shouldn't shock anybody. It should shock you a little bit because that's a big leap from where we used to be. We've never been number 2 in the country with sacks allowed. Never. Sacks defensively, South Carolina is 60. So that should speak to you on where Kellen Mond should be at the end of the day running that offense, passing the ball. He should have the most time, just like he had in the Arkansas game, to just drop back, sit there and be a little bit patient, wait for his wide receivers to develop and get open across the field and deliver the ball with huge confidence. And, well, my guys gave me time. All right? It's just the way it is. Red zone offense, A&M is 50th. We're fixing that. You know, we know we have a lot of things to work on right there. So we're fixing that as we go, okay? Red zone defense, South Carolina is 42nd. All right, so that's going to be a huge test to that offense of when they get in that red zone on what they can do. All right, so please believe in that. Scoring offense, A&M is 47. Scoring defense, South Carolina is 60. That should give you another reason to why I'm picking them to get a blowout. Understand that doesn't make sense when the scoring offense is 47, but the scoring defense for South Carolina is 60. You know, and with everything I just gave you, that should give you a reason to why I'm picking a blowout, people. Let's move along. So let's get into some special teams here. Special teams, punt returns, A&M is 41st. Special teams, punt return defense, South Carolina is 95th. So, Anaya Smith, we haven't seen him break one yet, but we should see that guy break for a touchdown in this game, and I would not be surprised. If he doesn't, then okay, that's cool, that's all right. But his punt return average in this game should be well over the average that we've been seeing. Punt blocks allowed, A&M is tied for first. You know, of course, with 0. Punts blocked, South Carolina is not available because they don't have any. Special teams, A&M on kick returns is 100. You know, that's because not too many kicks have been returned this season. So, kick return defense, South Carolina is 82nd. All right. Uh, let's get into some turnovers here. Turnovers lost, A&M is 48 with 7. Turnovers gained, South Carolina is 43rd with 8. That's a neck and neck battle right there. But Kellen Mond has been doing an awesome job with not turning that ball on her, turn the ball over. So I don't expect him to turn the ball over in this game neither. So, just keep a lookout for that. Let's get into some penalties here. Penalties, South Carolina is 24th. A&M is 63rd penalties. I do not expect to see a lot of penalties in this game. Mainly because Jimbo Fisher and Mike Elko should have, and Darryl Dickey, by the way, should have coached that team up good enough to go out there and not really get as many penalties. Time of possession, though, A&M is 23rd. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of keep away in this game. Now, do I expect South Carolina to show up with, huge confidence in what they're trying to do as well? Yeah, but like I say, man, once again, I just don't believe in Will Muschamp. I do not know where that South Carolina program is headed, COVID year or not. South Carolina was going to look like that still. I have no clue of what he's trying to build over there, nor do I have a clue of what identity he's trying to build. But he's one of the very few coaches that is going to get away, that has to get away from what he's doing at South Carolina, because what he's ultimately doing is not building that program up. He's just simply tearing it down year after year, in my opinion. Those guys should not be below mediocre over there each and every year. And that's just what they primarily are, below mediocre each and every year. This has not changed with Will Muschamp. His win and loss record doesn't speak volume because he doesn't have many wins, but has a whole lot of losses. So, but this game here is one of those make or break games. And I know he's going to show up, but at the end of the day, Texas A&M is the better team overall. Okay, any South Carolina fans out there listening, I just want to tell you guys, and it's nothing against South Carolina, anything like that. It's no ill will. South Carolina has some good players over there, but at the end of the day, Texas A&M is just a better football team. Okay, I do not want you guys to get mad at me, things like that, but Texas A&M is the better football team. You guys know that. I know that. I know most of you guys over there, South Carolina fans, you guys have been wanting Will Muschamp to leave so you can bring in somebody else who wants to build the program up, things like that. I know that. But as of right now, Will Muschamp is your head coach. So it is what it is. But that's all I have for you. On tomorrow, I will bring the defense, against that South Carolina offense. But I did get a chance to see the game. The last game that South Carolina played was against LSU. That offensive line for South Carolina has issues. That defensive line for South Carolina has issues also. That backfield for South Carolina has issues. The only player that plays in that backfield really, really good is J.C. Horn. That is it. That is it, people. That is it. Shivers for South Carolina. I believe that's his name, the wide receiver. That guy can't do everything, man. I'm sorry. But the running back over there for South Carolina, he's pretty good. Once again, that quarterback, I do not know what Will Muschamp sees in that guy. But, it is what it is. Now, could he be good in this game? Yeah, because you never know just what may happen. But I just doubt it, man. I highly doubt it. But anywho, that's all I have for this episode here. Please, guys, hit that subscribe button for me. Please hit that subscribe button. To all my SEC fans out there, all the SEC listeners of all teams, please, guys, come on to the podcast. I'm telling you guys, come on to the podcast. Please hit that subscribe button, man. Listen, I'll give you some intake about your team. Hell, you may not like it, but it's facts. At the end of the day, guys, it is facts. So come on in, join into the podcast. I love to have you guys, and I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, it's the Homemade Podcast Sports. This has been sponsored by Dopeness Styles and Kingsbeard Grooming Company. And guys, that is going to do it. That is it. Once again, it's Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, people, follow me on Facebook at JayPops, and also on Instagram at JayPops2020, and also on Twitter at JayPops05. Once again, it's the Homemade Podcast Sports, people. Hashtag Gigamaggots. And thank you guys for tuning in to the hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page, and also follow me on Twitter at JayPops, on Instagram at JayPops, and also on Facebook at hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. Hashtag Gigamaggots.